So I'm in the backyard. It's a beautiful day. I love to come and sit on the hammock and relax. It's a really sunny spot, so it feels amazing in the mornings. That sunshine feels so good. Just got home from a workout, and yeah, I wanted to bring you guys along and do a little walkthrough of the garden. The birds are really happy this morning. It's just spring is here. A lot of stuff is awake. Let's see. There's new growth on that. It's going to start to branch out and put out new leaves. That's citrus. My apple tree still not awake. It's March 20, I think, March 20, 21, 20 or 21. But it should start to leaf out in a few days. My pineapple guava. There's my olive tree. The little silverberry bush. Getting bushier. Yeah, look at that. Sorry, the side yard is looking really pretty. I hear a dove. My son thought it was an owl this morning. I'm like, no, that's a dove. I wish it was an owl. I think the other ones are sparrows. There's another bird that sings really pretty. It's not a sparrow. It's not singing right now. But, so the apple is gonna wake up in a few days. I still don't see any green. But the persimmon tree, I can see green on the tips. So focus. So this thing is awake. It's gonna start to leaf out. That evergreen back there looking pretty. I think it's an Indian hawthorn. I didn't get any video of this apricot tree in bloom, but it was really pretty. Maybe next year I will capture this on video, but the blooms have been pollinated because I assume because there was a lot of bees on here. There's lots of leaves starting to form. It's growing new leaves. So it's leafing out. This is awake for sure. Let's see. The citrus are putting on new growth. I saw that. I hope the lavender starts to bloom. There's one there and one there. These figs, I think they're starting to wake up. I see a little green on there. They should wake up soon. I still have some flowers over there. The jujube up there is still asleep. A few more days maybe. The grape that I put in there is awake. The roses are awake. getting new leaves. The grapes are leafing out, so those are awake. Hi, Forest. Hi, Tara. That's Tara. That's Forest. Oops. So yeah, what are they called? Desert willows. Yeah, the desert willows are still asleep. They're right there. So, I moved this. This was in the front. It's really cold sensitive, but now that we're not gonna get any cold, like super cold, freezing temperatures, I moved it to the back porch. It's starting to bloom. My sister gave this to me and I almost lost it last year. But this year I put it in a better protected area and it's doing good. This, she gave me a cutting from her plant, or a few cuttings, but she got this from my grandma, and she had this, my grandma had this growing in her garden, so she's growing it and she gave me a cutting. So we have cuttings from her, or from my grandma's original plant, and it's turned like into a monster. It's huge. I don't know the name of this plant actually, but it's really pretty and it reminds me of my grandma. So yeah, I love it. And here we have another fig. It's still not leafed out yet, but it should wake up soon. The other Indian hawthorn in there. It's that bird. That bird that's singing right now. It sings really pretty, but I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a sparrow. It sounds different. Okay, so my kefir pear woke up. This is the first kefir pear I've actually, I don't have a pear in my backyard, but it's the first one I got to grow from a bare root. Here's my other David Austin rose. It's put on some growth. It's bigger than the other. These are actually pretty. These dandelions. I know it's a weed for most people, but I think they're really pretty. My kids like to play with the seed heads when they make wishes and stuff. We have our little living Christmas tree. I'm putting on some new growth. See all that little bright neon color needles? That's new growth. So it's growing in its container. So we should have this for next Christmas. Eventually it'll probably be a bit too big to bring in, but I can grow it in the yard, put it in the ground. It's in a container right now. I forgot the name of it, the variety. It's some sort of dwarf variety. Yeah. So here's my other citrus. This is a sudachi, and it's gonna start to branch out and leaf out and probably bloom. But you can see it's got little, the new growth is kind of red, the little tips. And there's the peach tree. Here's another grapevine. Rosemary. This one's the one that's grown the most and it has the bigger leaves. High forest. So the rosemary looks pretty. This is leafing out. There are a lot of leaves. It's still holding on to its bloom, to the blossoms. But I think it's been pollinated already, because it was covered in bees and there's no more bees. So I think they've done their job. Here's my blood orange. pineapple guava. This one's gonna start to branch and leaf out now that the temperatures are warmer. Here we have the pineapple guava. Little cactus here. It's got little babies coming up. Nopal. Here's my Owari Satsuma. Looking really pretty. Made it through winter really nice. Now we are going into spring. It's putting on all these new little buds. They're gonna be leaves or flowers, or all of them, leaves, flowers, but stems. So yeah, here's the palm. The new growth on this is really pretty. It's like bright red. It's a red color. So that's leafing out. This looks pretty, a little sage. This thing's leafing out. New little branches there. I hope it blooms this year. It'd be nice. Yeah, let's go this way. So that bird sings so pretty. I think I see it up there. I don't know what kind of bird that is, but it's so pretty. I'm glad it's comes here. This is the plum tree, one of our new plum trees. It's still not, I don't see it, the buds starting to, they look a little swollen, so they're starting to swell. Hopefully it wakes up and breaks dormancy, start to leaf out and push new growth. So yeah, let's see. Oh, this little bird bath, I think I'm gonna have to like replace it or something. It's not holding the water, so it might have a leak. I think it's not holding water. I gotta check it out. This desert willow. These little seed pods. You open them, there's like seeds in here. And these like fly with the wind. Hope I don't get a whole bunch of baby trees. It's kind of hard to germinate in our soil. It's really hard, but it is a native, I think, so we'll see. It likes water though. I saw the grapes, another rose. Let's go this way. Look at that in the background. So pretty. That's the plum tree. That's the Shiro yellow plum tree. Let's go this way. This is where I like to sit in the mornings because it's a nice sunny spot in the mornings and it has afternoon shade. So I like to sit there. Crabapple. I think I saw. Yeah, it's gonna start to leaf out and bloom. This is gonna be blossoms right here. So fruiting spurs. And this thing blooms really pretty, super pretty. It's kind of small right now, but when it gets bigger and has a bigger size to it, it's gonna be a showstopper. It's probably gonna be prettier than that plum in the background, but look at that plum tree. So pretty. There's my Quinn, sits awake. That sunshine feels so good. I don't know what this is. Some sort of weed probably, but I love it because these little blooms are so pretty. And it's kind of growing in a little patch around the base of this quince tree, and I'm leaving it here. So I do take the weed whacker and whack a lot of the weeds. It's not even a lawn really. There's wild grasses and Bermuda and stuff, but I do like the green, so I keep it, but I do whack it back to kind of keep it nice and almost mowed. But it's not all grass. There's a lot of stuff in the ground cover. I guess it's like a ground cover. It's wild grasses, Bermuda. Some of this stuff is growing here, and then you have those wild lettuce and some sort of lots of different stuff mixed in. But I like it. I do like it. It's looking nice. This is awake. It's another pomegranate. These are not awake yet. That's a nut tree. The pistachio nut. That's the female. It's the male. I don't think they're awake yet. But soon they will be. Look at the buds. They're starting to swell. So they're gonna start to leaf out. But I don't see any green yet. So, a few more days maybe. Maybe less than a week. My little roses. I need to add more flowers around maybe to get them more full, and then maybe add more in that middle too. There's the kumquat, Nagami kumquat, and mulberry, and another mulberry, everbearing. They're the everbearing black mulberries. I got leaves. These were like the first thing to wake up in the backyard. You guys, look at that. So pretty. I love to sit here. I love to sit here, have coffee, and stare at that plum tree. Because it's just so pretty. It'll be like this for a few more days, maybe a week or something. I'm getting blooms on these. I think they're called pop dragons. I didn't know what they were called, so I googled it. But isn't that a pretty color? Look at this one starting to bloom. It's such a pretty color. I love those peachy pink colors. I hope this rose starts to get fuller. Oh yeah, I see little buds on the, yeah, it's kind of, it needs a lot more branches, but there's a lot of this pop dragon that's gonna bloom soon. I think this one gets more sun on this side, a little bit more, so it's starting to bloom more. And then when that autumn sage blooms, it'll be so pretty. Look at this tree. And this thing right now gets that morning sun and it gets covered in bees. I don't know if they show up on camera, but there are so many honeybees on this thing. Sounds like the birds are enjoying this weather just as much as I am. Wow, how many bees are... This thing smells so good. You can smell it from a couple feet away or even further. See, now you know what I'm talking about. This thing blooms really, really heavy. And I don't have a pollinator in the yard anymore. The Santa Rosa was its pollinator, but I'm sure someone else in the neighborhood must have a plum tree, or I hope they do, because I got plums last year and I didn't have a pollinator, so someone must have one that's nearby. And here we have a little citrus tree, looking pretty. Oops, thought it was a bee on my head. The loquat, looking pretty. That's a seedling. That loquat's a seedling. That yuzu citrus tree is a seedling. Oh, I planted this peach tree in this corner. It's a seedling from my tree. It's a little sick right now, but it kind of just grew on its own under the peach tree. Then I uprooted it. I uprooted this and I put it in a pot. So it was growing in a pot for one season or 1 year, a couple months, and then that pot was too small. I think they're pretty fast growers, and I decided it needs to go back into the ground, but this is a good spot for it, I think. So I hope that grows and gives me some type of good quality fruit. So I guess my little seedling area. This is not a seedling. This is something my partner bought me. It's a fig. I forgot the name of it. I didn't get figs last years from this. Maybe this year. Cordon Blanc, yeah. So I don't know if it'll do good in my area, but I didn't get figs the first year. So look at all this new growth. It puts on new growth right now in springtime. They look so cute. They like grow straight up and they're like silvery. And it puts on new growth in the fall as well. It doesn't really do much in the summer because it's too hot. But yeah. Okay, I need to go make myself a coffee and sit and admire this beauty. Look at this. It's getting pretty big too. Let's see. The bees are so loving this. Alright guys, so that's it. It's kind of what it's looking like right now. Sit for a little walk through the garden. Oh, that little bird. So cute right there. They like to nest every year under there. There's like an old, they must have little eggs or are starting to nest. There's like an old, it's an old like dish, like cable dish thing that was left behind, and it's like a perfect little nesting thing for them. And my kids like to watch the birds come every year and nest there. It's pretty. All right guys, so that's what it looks like right now. It's a beautiful time of the year, and yeah, I'm excited for the spring season is here. So yeah, I will talk to you guys on the next video. Bye.